Imagine a world where humanity finally became what it was always claimed it aspired to be. An existence without corruption, without injustice, without the quiet suffering of the innocent. A world where nothing pure would ever be stained again, and where evil, in all its forms, could be erased at its roots. For some, such a world is not merely an ideal, but a possibility. A force capable of removing every impurity, crime, betrayal, every shadow that lingers in the heart of existence. The question is not whether such power could exist, but if it did, would humanity resist it? Who would willingly preserve suffering when offered the means to end it forever? And yet, buried within that desire lies a paradox. What happens when the need to destroy evil becomes indistinguishable from evil itself? This is the tragedy of the cleansing flame. It was not born from hatred, not conjured by demons, not forged in malice. It arose from something far more human, the longing to make the world finally, irrevocably pure. The cleansing flame does not merely burn, it consumes, it erases, it purifies. But unlike ordinary fire, its reach is not bound to flesh. It descends deeper into essence, spirit, into the invisible architecture of the soul. It does not destroy what has become through their decisions. It destroys what a person is at its core. And the most terrifying truth of all is that humanity lit the unquenchable fire that would eventually consume it all. The cleansing flame began as a question, not spoken aloud, but whispered through centuries of suffering. Why does evil exist at all? And why must it be endured? Humanity looked at injustice and demanded resolution, not tomorrow, not eventually, now. They looked at corruption and refused to accept its performance. They looked at suffering and called it an acceptable reality. And in a world where belief is not passive, but formative, really listened. When conviction becomes absolute, it ceases to be an unconscious thought. It becomes conscious force. The cleansing flame was not invented, it was an answer into existence, a manifestation of collective certainty that anything deemed unworthy of existence should no longer exist. At first, it seemed divine in its simplicity. It granted its bearer the ability to cleanse, to remove corruption, to erase deviation, to restore what they believed was order. And those who wielded it not feel like conquerors. They felt correct, chosen. They felt for the first time that the universe itself agreed with them. The flame did not command. It did not whisper judgment. It did not choose targets. It merely validated and empowered what was already present within its wielder. And therein lies its true horror. Because the flame is not a judge, it is not a god, it is a revealer, and the flame only lights up what was already there. The most dangerous aspects of the cleansing flame is not that it destroys, it is that it sanctifies the one who wields it. Its bearer do not believe they are executioners. They believe they are there to preserve and defend what's good in the world. They carry the burden others refuse to touch and endured hatred so the world may be spared. They convince themselves that mercy left unchecked becomes complicity and that their perception is absolute truth. And slowly, imperceptibly, the language of salvation begins to shift. They no longer ask, is this person suffering? They ask, is this person pure? And from that single shift, everything fractures, because purity is no longer something to understand. It becomes something to enforce. A criminal becomes corruption. A dissenter becomes contamination. A difference in belief becomes decay. And eventually anything that resists their worldview becomes justification for removal. The flame does not corrupt its wielder. It does something far more subtle. It frees them from restraint. It removes the need to confront the parts of themselves they would rather deny. Their anger becomes righteousness, and their fear becomes vigilance. Their pride becomes duty, and their need to be right becomes sacred obligation. They set out to destroy evil, but what they never understood is that the evil they seek was never only outside them. It was waiting inside them as well. And the cleansing flame does not distinguish between the two. It only burns what is offered to it. So they burn the world clean and call it salvation. The cleansing flame was never born from hope alone, nor from love or from the dream of a better world. It was born from rejection, from refusal, from the belief that existence itself can be corrected through removal. And perhaps the most dangerous force in the world is not the desire to protect it, but the conviction that purity is something that can be achieved through erasure.